get back to work.
Do it someplace else.
I already did the someplace else.
You better get out.
Just remember, you said I could have my old job back if I wanted.
Yeah, sure, Florence, but...
I mean, life was much easier when I was just a maid.
Here, checking in with me. Checking in. I'm checking in. Checking in. I'm checking in. Checking in.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Florence. How are you doing? Oh, fine. Oh, then why are you talking to yourself?
In the early 1980s, one of TV's most beloved characters stepped out of the shadow of a hit sitcom and into the spotlight. Marla Gibbs, already a household name for her role as Florence Johnston on The Jeffersons, was given her own sitcom, Checking In. The show had all the ingredients for success: a beloved star, a fresh premise, and the momentum of one of the most popular sitcoms of its time. Yet, despite this potential, the series lasted only 4 episodes before being canceled. Today, we're taking a deep dive into this fascinating yet forgotten piece of television history. What happened to Checking In? Why isn't it remembered alongside the other classic 80s sitcoms? And most importantly, did it deserve another chance? To answer these questions, we first need to set the stage. By the time Checking In premiered, Marla Gibbs had already become a breakout star on The Jeffersons, where she portrayed Florence Johnston, the Jeffersons' sharp-tongued, quick-witted, and endlessly entertaining housekeeper. Florence was beloved for her biting humor, delivered with perfect timing, and her ability to stand toe-to-toe with George Jefferson in verbal sparring matches. Whether she was delivering a sly remark or putting George in his place, Florence was a fan favorite, and it was clear Marla Gibbs had the star power to carry her own show. CBS recognized this and decided to give her character a spin-off. The concept was simple. Florence would leave her job with the Jeffersons to become the executive housekeeper at the luxurious St. Frederick Hotel in New York. It was a fresh start for Florence, and the hotel setting promised plenty of opportunities for comedic chaos. With Florence navigating the challenges of managing a quirky housekeeping staff and catering to demanding hotel guests. The supporting cast included Larry Linville, best known for his role as Major Frank Burns on MASH, as Lyle Block, Florence's uptight and by-the-book boss.
It's my Saturday nights for the next 2 years.
I don't care, Lyle.
Okay. Now listen. This may be hard to believe, but I'm not exactly what you'd call a ladies' man.
And another myth bites the dust.
The dynamic between Florence and Lyle was meant to be a comedic clash of personalities, with Florence's sharp wit and confident demeanor playing off Lyle's rigidity. Additionally, the show featured a revolving door of eccentric hotel employees and guests, designed to create a mix of situational and character-driven comedy. On paper, Checking In seemed like it had all the makings of a hit. After all, spin-offs had been successful before. Shows like The Jeffersons itself, which spun off from All in the Family, proved that a strong character and a compelling premise could lead to success. But something about Checking In didn't quite resonate with audiences. For one, timing played a major role. The show premiered during a highly competitive time slot, up against juggernauts like Dallas and Dynasty, which dominated viewership in the early 80s. These dramas, filled with high-stakes storylines and glamorous characters, left little room for a new sitcom to capture attention. Beyond competition, the show faced creative challenges. Florence was a beloved character, but much of her charm on The Jeffersons came from her interactions with George Jefferson and the rest of the household. On Checking In, Florence was placed in a new environment, and while the hotel setting provided opportunities for comedy, it lacked the familial tension and rich relationships that made her character shine. The writing didn't fully capitalize on Florence's sharp wit, and the humor felt more subdued compared to the biting exchanges that defined her role on The Jeffersons. Another issue was the lack of time to develop the show and its characters. Checking In was canceled after just 4 episodes, barely enough to establish a rhythm or allow audiences to connect with the new setting and supporting cast. CBS's decision to cancel the show so quickly left many wondering if it had been given a fair shot. After the cancellation, Marla Gibbs returned to The Jeffersons, and it was as if Florence had never left. This quick return may have further overshadowed Checking In, as audiences shifted their focus back to the original show. So why isn't Checking In remembered today? Part of the reason is its short run. With only 4 episodes, it didn't have the chance to leave a lasting impression. Unlike other 80s sitcoms that enjoyed long runs and syndication, Checking In didn't enter the cultural zeitgeist in the same way. Additionally, spin-offs often face an uphill battle, living in the shadow of their parent shows. For Checking In, the success of The Jeffersons loomed large, and comparisons were inevitable. Another factor is accessibility. While many classic sitcoms have found new life on streaming platforms or through syndication, Checking In remains largely unavailable. making it difficult for modern audiences to discover or revisit. Despite its short run, Checking In holds a unique place in TV history. It was a showcase for Marla Gibbs, proving her ability to lead a show and paving the way for her later success on 227. The series also reflects the challenges of creating successful spin-offs, even when the lead character and star are immensely popular. Ultimately, Checking In is a fascinating what-could-have-been story. It's a reminder of how difficult it is to capture lightning in a bottle twice, even with the same beloved character. For fans of Marla Gibbs and classic television, Checking In is worth exploring, even if only as a hidden gem. So, what do you think? Did Checking In deserve a longer run? Have you seen the show, or is this your first time hearing about it? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into classic TV history.